Hello, fuckos, and welcome to this episode 78 of the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast with me, Chris Hunter. Hello, folks. How you doing? Are you well? I hope you are. It's been a hot minute. I'm afraid I have not seen you lovely folks for 2 weeks because I am an idiot. See, 2 weeks ago, I was a little too busy, which is understandable. People get busy. I was too busy. I couldn't do the podcast. That's how life is sometimes. However, last week was down to sheer stupidity. I had most of the week off last week. I booked it off. I wasn't ill or anything. Me and Charlie just decided, you know what? We need some nice November time off. We'll have some time off. We'll go to the Christmas markets. We'll enjoy ourselves because that's what nice things happen this time of year. However, the weather was terrible. We didn't go anywhere really. We stayed and played video games, which is perfect in itself. I'll talk more about video games in a minute. But for now, I will explain that the reason I didn't do the podcast this week, I literally forgot. I just forgot. That's it. You know what it's like when you got time off and you forget what day it is. It didn't even dawn on me until I think maybe Saturday or maybe even Sunday. And I was like, I didn't do a podcast this week. Well, there you go, folks. That's for you. Slap on the wrist. Shan't happen again, hopefully. I hate missing a podcast. If I ever miss one, send me a tweet. Give me a shout and that. I'll try and get back to it, because it's only nice I keep this up. Now, we're trying something new today. As you saw last episode, which was episode 77, I believe. That was the first video one with my webcam, which is quite low quality because the camera I'm currently using was on charge. Now, as you can see, hopefully you can see this. I'm currently using my new camera, so hello, folks. Hopefully it's in nice detail. Now, you can probably tell I'm using this mic, but that camera. Now, if you just listen to the audio one, obviously that's fine. You feel free to keep listening to the audio one. There shouldn't be anything specifically visually related this week, but I would like it if you folks out there would send me some clips or some things you want me to react to or talk about or things you find funny that you think I, a fellow human, might find funny. I really, really appreciate that kind of stuff. So if you send it my way, I can put it in the podcast. We'll all have a right giggle, okay? A right giggle. Now, what was I going to talk about this week? In order to not be completely blown out on the camera, I've turned 2 of my 3 screens off. So you can just see this one here, which has got me audio stuff recording on it, but it gives me a nice little bit of side light. Whereas if I turn the other ones on, you get blinded and you can't see because of my glasses reflection. So to counter that, I've just turned 2 of them off. So that's why I'm using my phone for my notes. I use Trello as a little guide, a little insider scoop there, folks. I use Trello to keep notes of what I wanted to talk about this week. It's not always useful. Sometimes I forget stuff. Sometimes I just ignore things because I'm like, why did I write that? And then I'll realise after the podcast, oh wait, that's why you wrote that. Well, it's too late now, dingus. That's what normally happens. Anywho, so yeah, sorry for missing the last 2 weeks. People seemed to respond well to the video format last time, even though the quality was a little shitty. Pardon the language. It was a bit rubbish, the quality, but... Oh God, squeaky chair. Come on, be nice. Yeah, the quality's a bit rubbish on the video, but hopefully this video quality will be a bit nicer for you folks. You get to see me in all my HD glory. I look a bit Raggedy Andy at the moment because, like I said, we had a week off. I need to shave. I need to cut my hair. As you can see, it's extensively long, dear. It's so long. Oh my goodness. It's weird to think now. To me, this feels like my hair is too long. Whereas I used to have hair down to my eyes, and it wasn't too long then. But that's how it is sometimes. That is how it is. I'm sorry if I keep clipping the audio, by the way. I feel like I'm very close to my mic. Let me just adjust slightly. There, hopefully I'm not directly at the microphone now. The levels seem okay. You folks don't seem to get deafened too much. And if this isn't good, let me know, okay? Now, what was I going to talk about next? I said that I'm sorry, and yes, I had some time off. During my time off, I didn't do much at all, apart from play video games, like I said. Now, the main thing that I played was a little game called Death Stranding, which is by Hideo Kojima, who is the guy who created Metal Gear Solid, which is one of my all-time favourite series. Series. What's the plural for series? It's probably series like sheep. Anyway, he is the creator of one of my all-time favourite series, Metal Gear Solid. And he brought out a new game after falling out with his old company. He's been on his own independent for 3 years now, and he created Death Stranding. And there was mystery around this game for so long. Ooh, mystery. Nobody had a clue what this game was about, really, because they released footage and they released snippets of information, but none of it really explained anything, It was kind of confusing in a good way. Like, it left a lot to the imagination to try and figure out what was going to happen. And I played it. I adored it. It was a fantastic game. I really, really liked it. Now, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's completely fine. It doesn't need to be everyone's cup of tea. If everything was everybody's cup of tea, then we'd all be drinking tea like it's gone out of fashion, and we're not. Only some of us are, because that's how it works. Yeah, it's a bit slow paced to start with, but after a couple of hours of getting used to the systems in the game and stuff, you realise what it is. It becomes exceptionally brilliant. I loved every second of it, apart from one little, like, slightly tedious part, which kind of didn't annoy me, but I was like, oh, really? Gotta do this? But yeah, other than that, fantastic game. Definitely worth playing. Try not to watch any spoilers and stuff beforehand, because a lot of it kind of unravels throughout the game, you know, like every good story should. And with it being Hideo Kojima, he likes to do stuff very filmically, very cinematically. That's the word, not filmic, cinematically. So it's very long-winded, very confusing. There's no other word for it. It's quite a confusing storyline, but you eventually kind of understand what's going on by the end. And you know what? I admire him for it, because the man has passion, the man has a vision, and that man is unwavering in his vision. Now, sometimes he needs people around him to say no. However, I like the fact that he says, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is what I will do. And this is what we are doing. And, you know, that's fine. He's a creative. You're entitled. You're totally entitled to do what you want to, sir. And I admire you for it. I one day wish to grow the gonads you possess. Not the exact ones. Like it's a metaphor. Anyway, I would like to have that ambition one day. I have that ambition. I would like to put that ambition to use one day. That would be the ultimate end goal. Is to do things like that, because he started in a similar way to me. He started wanting to make film. I started, you guys might not know this, I started doing media and wanting to do film, be a creative filmmaker, that kind of stuff. But that went a bit down the pan. College. I blame college, because the media course that I was on, it was a very, very mixed form. So I was there for filmmaking and editing. And they threw in a whole load of like journalism and stuff as well, which I understand why. Having taught since then, I understand how the systems work. I get it. There wouldn't have been enough numbers to have separate classes for each thing. But journalism, I hate journalism. Well, I did. I don't mind. I don't know. How do I feel about journalism? I'm not entirely sure anymore. I like writing, but I don't like the way journalism is. You know, people spin shit and whatnot. Just tell the truth. Write a story. Put it out there. People read it. People listen to it. People do what they want with it. But yeah, it wasn't for me at the time. So I decided media's not for me. I went into IT. Then just a short while later, maybe a year or two, I was like, IT is not for me either. So yeah, anyway, I ended up going down the path that I wanted to do in the first place originally, which was make video games. And that's what happened. So yay, life is good. Life is great. What was I talking about? Death Stranding, yes. So we follow a similar path, is what I'm saying. He started wanting to make films and went into games. Samesies. And then after Death Stranding, which I did finish and plan to keep playing because it's awesome. Belly grumble, did you hear that? Yeah, after that, we went on to Pokemon Sword and Shield, which came out on Friday. Me and Charlie are both playing it. I have got Pokemon Sword. Yes, I've got Pokemon Sword. Charlie's on Pokemon Shield, and we are loving it. It's a great game. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. If you're a fan of the Pokemon series, I highly recommend you get Pokemon Sword and Shield. And it's a beautiful game. It's set in England for once, which is weird. Normally those games are set in like a just generic town, usually based in somewhere in Japan. But this time it's based in England. They don't outright say it's based in England because it's, you know, they don't have, our world isn't the Pokemon world. It's a fictional one, as you might have guessed by the lack of Pokemon. We have animals. They are not Pokemon. They're close enough, I guess. But yeah, this is set in like an English style world. And I'm in a town at the moment which I think is based on Manchester. It's pretty cool. It's got like iron bridges and stuff and things and such, you know, that Manchester has. But yeah, it's good. I really enjoy it. You guys should definitely give it a look. If you've played any of the Pokemon games beforehand, this one will definitely pique your interest. And if you've never played the series before, maybe start with this one. It's quite interesting. They've got a lot of the kinks out that they used to have. Like in the old systems, you couldn't like swap your Pokemon really easily. You had the 6 that you were with, and if you wanted to swap them for any of the other ones that you've collected, you'd have to go to a Pokemon Center. You'd have to go log into someone's PC. You'd have to switch them all in a box and stuff. And like, oh, for God's sake, I just want to use a freaking name a Pokemon, not Reptar. He's from Rugrats. Blastoise. I just want to use a Blastoise, but he's not in my party, and you have to do it that way. Whereas now you can simply go Pokemon. to boxes, let's get swapping. And it's much, much better. I totally prefer that. I also like the fact that now, whenever you finish a fight, all your Pokemon in your party get a little bit of XP each. So you're leveling up consistently. Because I used to always just use the same team throughout the whole game, because that's how it worked with the experience system, you know? You give certain characters experience, they get stronger, you keep with them because they're strong, and then it's a vicious cycle of the same Pokemon over and over again. This time is better. Anywho, I'm going to stop waffling about Pokemon because I'm sure not everybody out there even gives a slight toss about Pokemon, but I do, and I enjoy talking about things that I enjoy, which is why you folks watch/listen, because you're here to hear me ramble about nonsense that I like and dislike. And if you don't like that, that's fine. This isn't the podcast for you. Catch you later. But if you do like that, stick around, folks. We got more. So let me see. What else has I got to talk about? It's kind of funny. Because I missed the podcast last week and the week before, there's one here from the original when it was supposed to be out, where I said, Happy Bonfire Night. Happy Bonfire Night, folks. Did you have a good time? Did you all go out and see the fireworks? Did you have experiences of fundum and pleasantry? That's explosive pleasantry, in case you didn't know. I don't think we did anything. What did we do? Bonfire Night. I can't remember what we did. Oh, sorry for the click. Bonfire Night. That was the day I did a big talk at uni. I don't know did I mention it a couple of weeks ago? I was going to Bolton University to give a talk to their games department as myself, the game developer, not myself, the comedian, the other me. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it was great. It went really well, I think. I enjoyed the talk. It was about 150 people, I think. Everyone seemed to grasp it. They seemed to enjoy it. I got a few questions afterwards. And then I gave a 2-hour workshop on one of the subjects of game development, which went pretty well. It didn't excuse me, I have a dry sinus cavity. It didn't go as well as I would have liked it to, but nothing ever will, because I'm never happy with anything that I do to the fullest, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you think, oh, that could have gone better. But everyone seemed happy enough with it. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. I spoke to the teachers afterwards. They seemed happy enough with it. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for two. That's what I want to see. That was a song in the 90s. I believe it was a good song. Name the artist, because I can't remember them. Excuse me a second. I'm going to have some Diet Coke from a glass bottle because I'm fancy. Oh, that should help the old sinus. Right, yeah, so... Yeah, anyway, happy bonfire night. I hope nobody got hurt. Years and years ago, I went off fireworks for a long time because years and years ago, myself and my family were attacked by fireworks where they exploded all around us, got sparks in my hair and stuff, and oh, it was scary. Father got hit in the face. It was a thing. It was a real thing. And it really, it scared me. It scared the shit out of me. And for years afterwards, and I literally mean years, I hated fireworks. I wouldn't go near them. In recent years, I'm back on board. I love fireworks. I can't wait to see them in Disney. I can't wait to see them in Japan. I'm on board with fireworks again. However, it took a long time to get comfortable around them. So I understand that bonfire night isn't for everybody. Not everyone enjoys them, you know. But I do now, so it's all good. Now, I had I teased to you folks the other week that there may be some good news coming soon. And I didn't say anything further than that because I've got a habit of oversharing. And sometimes if you overshare something that isn't a certain thing, like something that isn't set in stone yet, if you overshare about something that isn't set in stone yet, sometimes it doesn't tend to happen, you know what I mean? But anyway, I teased something good may be coming soon for this guy. And I got a phone call yesterday telling me that something good is indeed happening to this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, as far as I know, I'm allowed to talk about this because I've not been told otherwise. Here comes the hiccups. Every episode, hiccups. This guy, Chris, is going to be on the telly. Oh, can you believe it? I'm going to be on a game show, folks. I applied to be on a game show called First and Last, which is a brand new primetime Saturday night BBC One game show. BBC Radio 1. A primetime BBC One game show hosted by none other than the wonderful Jason Manford, and I cannot wait for it. Now, I originally applied for the show because Charlie basically told me to. She didn't say it in a harsh way, but it kind of felt like she meant it in a harsh way. The idea of the game, I'll tell you the idea first. The idea of First and Last, apparently, is that you can't come first and you can't come last. If you do, then you're knocked out for that round. You know, that's you done. And then it whittles it down till, I'm assuming till there's 3. I don't know how it works. I've not been on it yet. But that's the premise of the show. That's all I've said about it so far. And Charlie saw that and she's like, you should apply for this because I always beat you at games. Like you never win at games, but you never lose either. You're always kind of in the middle. As I was like, oh, cool. So what he's saying is I'm the master of mediocrity. I'm the grey in the whole colour spectrum that is black to white. That's fine. You know what? I'm happy being a middle of the roader, a jack of all trades, master of none. That's me. So yeah, I applied for it on a whim, thinking it's probably not going to happen, but I'd like to do that. That sounds like it'll be fun. And lo and behold, after a Skype interview and a phone interview, I didn't need to do an in-person interview. They're happy enough with the Skype one. I am going to be on the television. Hopefully everything should go fine, but I'm booked. I'm not going to say anything specific about the booking and all this stuff because I don't know what I'm allowed to say. Only that I'm going on the show. I assume I'm allowed to. I've not been told otherwise. If I'm not allowed to, I deeply, deeply apologise. Please don't kick me off the show. I really, really want to be on it. But I'm super looking forward to it. I'm really, really excited. And I'm also a massive Jason Manford fan, so that'd be nice to meet him and say, hello, love, how you doing? So yeah, I'm super excited. I'll tell you folks more about it as the time gets closer. It's actually really, really close. Like I said, I'm not going to give exact dates and information and stuff because I don't know what I can say yet, but it's going to be soon. And I'll keep you all posted with that in the future. So keep an eye on this podcast, keep an eye on the social media and all that jazz. I'll retweet stuff as it comes through, or I'll share it on Facebook, or wherever I find stuff, that's where I'll share it. Speaking of sharing stuff, if you folks ever want to help me out, I deeply, deeply appreciate you just hit share on whatever you use to listen to this podcast, or if you've seen it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is, just give it a share. You know what I mean? Tell your friends. The more people that listen, the more friends that we can have together, the more stories we can tell to each other, the more fun and frivolity we can have. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Anywho, what was I going to talk about? I talked about that. I was doing my Japanese studies the other day, because you know what it's like. I've got to keep that shit up, and I'm trying to get back on top of it. I've been lazy again. Not intentionally. Sometimes I just realise, wait, I've not done my Japanese for a while, and that's not good. I need to do it as soon as possible. Excuse me. So, I was doing something the other day, and I learned a new word. Ooh, but it's a new word that's made up of 2 words that I already know. And this made me kind of giggle. Just a little geeky little Japanese student giggle. The word for socks in Japanese kind of made me giggle. Right? It is kutsushita. Kutsushita. Which kutsu means shoe and shita means under. Or shita. Under. Or inside, under. Beneath. So undershoe is sock. It makes logical sense. I found that kind of humorous. I don't know why I'd explain it that way. It was funny to just say the whole thing as it is. But you know what? It's done now and it's on film. I said it the way I said it. That's how it is. Move on. What was I going to talk about as well? As you can tell, I'm not used to this setup yet, so please give me a little bit of leeway, you know? Normally, I'm way more organised. I've normally got everything on my screens, and I can see what I'm doing, and I can be a bit more free. But at the moment, I'm still trying to get used to using the camera. I'm trying to get used to using my phone for the little notes. I'm trying to get used to keeping an eye on my recordings and that it's not going apeshit and crazy. Because I've got a feeling something's going to go wrong and I don't know what yet. But that's okay, isn't it? Things go wrong. People get over it. That's right. Speaking of doing my Japanese and my studies and stuff, I'm after a bit of help from you folks. Does anybody have any tips on improving your memory? Now, I've got a couple of books that I bought, which have been highly recommended. I've been highly recommended on improving your memory. So I bought them and I'm going to try and read them, but I'm a bit lost at the moment. I'm reading one of them, and the very first exercise he gives on it, he gives like a scoring system of how to rank where you're up to at the moment so that you can see what you need to do next. But the problem is, I didn't even understand the scoring system. So I'm a little bit lost in that book, I'm afraid. I wish that wasn't the case, but I just couldn't grasp what I was supposed to do. Now, to be fair, I was doing this at like 1 a.m. in bed, and I probably should have done it the next day instead. But I'll have a look at a different time and see if I understand it a bit better. But yeah, I wanted to ask you folks, do you have any tips when it comes to improving memory or remembering stuff in general? Because one of my main issues that I'm having with the Japanese stuff is that I'm trying to figure out how to remember things better, how to remember them more clearly. Now, I remember I watched a video ages ago by Abroad in Japan. You guys probably see me talk about him loads. Chris Broad, super nice guy. He did a great video about learning Japanese, and he realised himself, same problem as me, his memory was awful. So he took a month off learning Japanese and he learned to improve his memory instead. And that's where I got these memory book recommendations from. And I thought, yeah, that's something I need to do. I really need to improve my memory. So I tried that. But like I said, the book, it's not working for me. So I'm looking for any other tips you folks might have. Or Chris, if you watch this, I don't know why you would, but if you did, I would appreciate any tips from you as well. Their podcast, by the way, incidentally, the Abroad in Japan podcast is brilliant. It's Pete Donaldson and Chris Broad talking about Japan and things Japanese. It's Pete Donaldson, the famous London radio DJ from Absolute Radio, I think it is. I can't remember. But yeah, it's really, really good. Give it a listen to, folks. That's my recommendation for the week. I've not done one of them for a while, but that's what it is this week anyway. What else? Oh yeah, also, as well as memory tips, folks, I would like some gym I'd like to put my teeth back in and say some words in English, if you don't mind. I would like some gym motivation tips because I need to get back to the gym soon. I was doing well and then for some reason stopped for a little bit. And at the moment, we're on like a 4-day break, which is bad because I didn't want to ever have more than a 2-day break. So I'm trying to get back into doing the gym. At the moment, the weather's really bad, so we're not going tonight because it's icy as hell outside. And it's not worth the risk when I've got Ring Fit Adventure downstairs. I can go do that instead. That's a Nintendo Switch game, by the way, nothing else. It sounds kind of dodgy when you think about it. But yeah, anyway, I need motivation to go back to the gym. So if you folks have any ideas how to keep you motivated, because I need to get TV ready. Ooh, I need to get wedding ready. I need to get Disney ride photo ready. I don't want to be the guy who's on the little roller coaster thing with the camera going, and then there's like 14 chins going, blah, 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 and like a belly and a boob over here, and like, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy, go, that was a muscle, I'm implying I want to be ripped. I don't want to be ripped. That would be kind of weird. But you know what I mean. I want to be in shape. I want to be healthier. I want to increase the longevity of existence, if that makes sense. That would be a nice thing to do. Now, folks, I believe, I'm not sure how this is going to work from my phone. Let me just see. But I think it is time for...
On this day, trivia time.
On this day, trivia time. Now, I don't know. Here's a little inside tip for you. I don't know if that theme tune was the right length or not because I actually can't hear the music when I do that. So hopefully I filled it in my head just the right time. I do have a button here that plays the theme tune, but you can't hear it. And I didn't press it because I forgot it was there. So I'll do that next time. But anyway, on this day, trivia time, folks. The date is November the 19th, 2019. Let me see. On this day, there was an advert banned in 1980 because Calvin Klein jeans had a 15-year-old actress, Brooke Shields, and it was too suggestive. Oh, damn it, Calvin Klein, that's naughty. On this day, in 1969, the third and fourth men walked on the moon. What else happened? Rocky and his friends. Oh, Rocky and Bullwinkle and all them people debuted on TV in 1959. The Gettysburg Address happened. Is that 420 years? Like Abe Lincoln. That was Abe Lincoln. He did that in 1863. And we're going to stop soon because I already feel the boredom coming from you people. I like this segment. I like it a lot. But I really should probably look at them early and pick the best ones out. But you know what? You folks, you're along for the ride, aren't you? Aren't you? Let me see. Who's interested in birthdays? It was Jodie Foster's birthday. In 62, it was Calvin Klein's birthday. In 42, it was... who else is left? Larry King was born in 1933. Shit, he looks a lot older than he is. I mean, he looks... Oh, Larry doesn't look young, but he looks way older than me Nan, and she was born in 25. So, Nan's doing great or Larry's doing bad. Either way, I don't know. But, maybe a bit of both. And I think that is all for On This Day. Oh, wait a minute. On this day, November 19th, 2017, Charles Manson died. So there you go. You got a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel, know what I mean? So, yes, that's On This Day, trivia time, polished off. Now, it is time for... Thumbs up or thumbs down. Oh, I shouldn't have sung along because now I've really got to time it properly, haven't I? Now, it's time for thumbs up and thumbs down. Unfortunately for you folks, I've not actually planned anything for thumbs up or thumbs down because I can't remember. Well, I didn't think of anything. But I'll tell you what. Yesterday when I was driving to work, I took a corner. It was a bit icy. And lo and behold, old Drift King over here had to take over. But luckily, drifting's okay. I would say thumbs down to black ice. That's just bad. Thumbs up to... Oh, you know those sweets? Right, I had one earlier. It was bloody good. gym. Those sweets, it's like about yay long, so about 6 inches. Am I right, gents? It's a red thing. It's like, I think they call them red pencils. It's red and it's got a white center. It's kind of like cream, not cream, but like what is it? What the feck is that stuff in the middle? It's squishy and white and almost marshmallowy, but not marshmallowy. Those things, oh, they're brilliant. That is my thumb up of this week for those things. Let me see. What else did I have to talk about? I don't actually know if I had anything else to talk about. So let's find out. There was no, that was it. So, folks, that is it from me this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video format with a slightly nicer quality video. Hopefully nothing ballsed up in post and you are actually seeing the video, because if not, this is rather embarrassing. Remember, folks, if you do listen to this podcast, you can also watch it on YouTube. I'm going to try and promote it more on there if I can. And if you like what you hear, or if you don't, please do me a favour. Give me a quick review on iTunes or wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Be quiet, phone, I'm talking. Wherever you listen to your podcast, give it a review, share it with your friends, let me know how you feel on social media. I'm Chris Hunter Comedy on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter I'm at ChrisHunterCom, which is short for comedy. So, thanks a lot, folks. You're all wonderful. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a nice week. And I'll see all you beautiful barstools next week. Bye-bye now.